Hey guys, Garfield and Joy here, and not necessarily a review, but I want to talk about some customs I made. So here is two Marvel Legends customs I made. One is Symbiote Spider-Man, and the other is 2099. So I had bought the symbiote. So my first one was the 2099 Spider-Man, and I'll put images up for reference. But my first one was the 2099, and my second was the symbiote. And at first, I thought they were all right, and I was satisfied with them. But over time, and like really looking at them, I didn't really like them. I didn't like how they were proportioned, and the movement was all right, but I just didn't like the look of it, and I didn't like the eyes for symbiote Spider Man. In 2099, he had an old reused body from I think I don't even know what wave. I think the goblin. I don't even remember, but it was a really old body, and maybe it was fine for the time. But like we have these new Spider-Man bodies with like really great movement, and like look at this. Like this is fantastic, and it sucks that they did a re-release of an old mode instead of using the new mode. So after a while, I saw a mod on Instagram of this guy who used the retro Falcon shoulders for his Spider-Man, and it looked great. It made him look intimidating and awesome, and so I did it. But then, and I'll probably put images up for reference if I could find them. But after a while, I felt like everything else was small in comparison to his shoulders, and his shoulders looked like giant and massive, while his arms were tiny and his legs were tiny. And I took a couple photos one night, and I looked at them and I was like, wow, it doesn't look right. Like it doesn't look right, and I wasn't satisfied. But then, the new Black Panther wave came out, and I skipped over it, didn't think much of it. But then, I I think I bought one for my birthday, and I got one as a birthday present, and I was like, wow, this is a great body. And I looked at it, and I was like, hmm, all black. And I was like, and I thought about it. I was like, well, hey, well, let's see. What is it? Actually, no, no, no. Sorry. I made a custom scroll figure, and I was like, wow, this body looks great, and I was like really happy with it. But then I looked at its arms and legs, and I was like, wow, these look really good. These are proportioned really good. How would these look on my Spider Man? So I took him off, and I put him on my Spider Man, and I gave him boots here that you can see. I gave him boots, and you can very much tell it's the T'Challa legs from here and here. But look at this. This is proportioned very good, and I even had some Killmonger hands lying around. I couldn't paint the white spot, but I'm fine with this. This looks awesome, intimidating. And then what I did was I took a Black Panther head, as you can see here, and I cut off the ears because I was trying to make a custom Scarlet Spider, but I gave up on that. And so then I tried making a custom head for Spider-Man, and then I gave up on that, but then I came back to it. And so I cut the ears and I sanded it down, and then um I got some modeling clay and I put it over the eyes, and then I painted it over, and it's not perfect, far from it. Hold on, bring the light here. You can very much if I just get it to focus, you can obviously see it's not the best. I didn't use high quality acrylic paint. I just had what's on me, and the eyes got dirty because I tried using some gloss and it didn't work out. But I like it, and like even you can see the how angry he looks and how intimidating and how strong like the face is. And so I wound up making this, but this was after a long time. And the day I made this one, aside from the head, I made this one. And so this one is a symbiote Spider-Man body, painted it black, Model Masters, gloss black, painted it all black, and then I did the same thing here, all the parts, and then I painted over the head of the 2099 figure. And now here is the interesting part. So if you can see, this, all right. So if you notice, these are pinless, no pins, whereas the 2099 arms have pins. And so that's a very hard obstacle to overcome because, well, I mean, how are you going to put pins in something that doesn't have, like a pinhole? And so what I wound up doing was I had some spare, hold on. I had some spare forearms, well, arms from a Falcon figure. And so what I did was I cut into it because it was pinless to see how it works. And I noticed, well, there is a pin. It's just there's no pinhole. because you can't take it out. So I cut off the forearms for the arms of the Black Panther figure. And then what I did was I yeah, back to what I was saying. So what I wound up doing was I cut out the forearms and I put it inside the pinhole, which wasn't a perfect fit, but it was good enough. And here we are. So then I got some red acrylic paint and I used the thin lead pencil to get inside, and I even made sure to get right there so it didn't look too bad. And it's far from perfect, very far from it. But I'm proud of it. It didn't come out too bad, and I did all right on the repaint of the hands. I didn't. I was very worried about repainting the hands and the forearms, because if I messed up, there's no red mark, and I would have had to done it on my own, and it wouldn't have looked as good. And yeah, I'm very satisfied with how these came out. So pretty much, retro Falcon boots and shoulders, Black Panther, the new Black Panther arms, head, legs, 2099 forearms, Black Panther biceps, 2099 head, which I'll tell you how I did this one. So what I did with this is, at first I tried not getting black paint on the red whatsoever, but that wasn't working. So I just dabbed black paint all over, and I just wiped it off the red, and here we are. And it's not perfect. The head is a little small in comparison, and I am thinking about making a 2099 head with this head. I'm thinking about it, but it seems like a very hard thing to do, and I don't think I'm skilled enough to do it. But yeah, overall these figures came out pretty good, and I will have some photos at the end showing them off, showing off how they look in poses, and I will have some reference photos to show you what the originals look like. And I think these came out very good, proportioned great. They're still Marvel Legends, so it's not the best articulation. It's very good though, and I didn't do the best work. You can still see some red and some gray on the boots. There you go. Some gray at the ankle joint, but I think it came out all right, and I'm pretty satisfied with it. All right.